Torah Garden, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.
Shalom, 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 Yasharal and Yahuda, grafted in Gentiles into the body of the Mashiach, the entire Mishpokah. And to those who have not received this witness, those of you that just happen to stumble upon this word, hear ye, you must be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. Hear ye, you must receive the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach. Yahushua HaMashiach, Yah salvation, not Jesus, not Earth Pig, not Baal, not the Lord. You must be born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, and you must come through the way of Yahushua HaMashiach. We're listening to none other than Hezekiah. I love this Ak. This Ak has a voice that cries loud in this hour. He has a voice that cries loud in this hour. I love this Ak. His song is entitled This Hour. 144. Listen, I don't own the rights to this music. Yahuwah has called me to declare his word. He said to cry loud and spare not. Deliver this word, this Torah. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, as you have commanded me, I sit here before this your people, those who hear this word, declaring unto them the word that you have given to me, praying that it would make a difference in their lives and that they would be established in it. Yahuwah, I pray that you by your Ruach HaKodesh would take the reins of my lips and the reins of my tongue and reign. Yahuwah, I pray that I would not cause anyone to stumble, anyone to be turned out of the way, anyone to come up the lane. Yahuwah, the desire is to bring those that have not received this witness under this atoning blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. And this word is for the Gentiles and for the Yahudim that understand this Ruach witness, and to cause them to continue to endure and to persevere, understanding there's an obligation and a commitment that we have in him. Yahuwah, I pray in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach that your people would understand the necessity of the water, the blood, and the Ruach HaKodesh. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, I pray. Yahuwah, I pray that in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, that the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart would be acceptable in thy sight. Yahuwah, I pray that you would do that which only you can do in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. I choose Yeshua. I choose Yahushua HaMashiach. I choose the water. I choose the blood. I choose the Ruach HaKodesh. I choose them all in Emunah. Yahuwah, realizing that is what establishes me in this your witness. I give you praise. I give you praise in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, again, I am grateful to the Most High for having called me to this witness. I am grateful to the Most High for enduring with me, bringing me the place where I am today, knowing that if it had not been for his mercy, knowing that if it had not been for his grace, knowing that if it had not been for his unmerited favor to me, I would be lost in holidays. I would be lost serving the Earth Pig. I would be lost serving Baal in Christendom, Baal in Babylon. This system is Babylon. It's music. It's Babylon. It's sports. It's entertainment. All centers around Babylon and the worship of Baal. Christianity spawned from the Catholic rhythm, the Catholic religion. is all a worship of Baal. These idols are throughout Babylon. Their altars are throughout Babylon. Yahuwah has called me to cry loud. I woke up this morning and I went to the restroom and went and climbed back into bed, and I laid there. And the Most High didn't urge me. I just got up. Because, you have to understand that you have to take every opportunity to be able to meditate and to worship Yahuwah. And sometimes the best time is in the early morning hours, right? So I get up and I start to pray, and I'm praying in the Ruach HaKodesh, praying about things that I'm concerned about, praying about things that, that concerns the body of Yahushua HaMashiach, praying for Yasharal and Yehuda, praying for the grafted in Gentiles, praying for specific people, right? Praying in the Ruach HaKodesh, praying with my understanding. And Yahuwah says, do continually that which I've called you to do. Right? Stay on the path. Stay on the path. Continue to cry loud and to continue to spare not. Continue to lift up your voice like a trump. Stay on the path. I have to be as relentless as Hasatan is. Yasharal and Yehuda, we who have been awakened, we who have been quickened by Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, we have to be as determined to reach people with this witness, this Besorah, as they are to hold people in Babylon. One man can't do it. It takes the whole body of Yahushua HaMashiach, those who are established in this witness, right, to be the witnesses to Yahushua HaMashiach. Sometimes I think people would when they've accepted the witness of Yahushua HaMashiach and they realize that they're born again, and their feeling is, I'm good, let somebody else do the other stuff. But see, Yahuwah's going to require of you what he's put in you. See, the parable of the talents is as much about what the Father has given them, as much as it is what they have done with it, right? See, because in this parable, you see Yahuwah, or this landowner, or this merchant, this person giving out money to make investments, right? That person that has received of his master, right? That person that has taken that word and deposited as an investment into the others that Yahuwah has given him, right? That individual has fulfilled his responsibility in the witness. But that individual that Yahuwah or that master has given, let's do this. No, wait a minute, there they go. That ain't gonna register. Oh yeah. All right, let's go. Let's look at Matthew the 25th chapter. See, you have to understand that in this witness, Yahuwah has given you everything you need to get the job done. And see, in this hour, we can't passively sit by and expect and wait for someone else to do it. We can't even assume that the people that are doing it is enough that gets the job done. Because see, there's still something that Yahuwah has placed in you, man of Yah, woman of Yah. By his Ruach HaKodesh, there's gifts, there's abilities, there's skills, there's talents that Yahuwah has put in you the purpose of gathering others unto him, to bring them into the knowledge of this Yeshua. Yahusha, in the 25th chapter of the Basara according to MATTITHYAHU, beginning at the 14th verse, right? He says, the kingdom of the Shamayim, or Yahuwah's way of doing things in his kingdom, right? Right? The kingdom of the Shamayim is like a man traveling to a far country who calls his own servants and delivers unto them his goods. So when we look at this in reference to Yahushua HaMashiach, we look at this in reference to those that he has called to this witness, right? Because, one can easily conclude that he was speaking strictly in reference to his Yahudim. To his Talamim, his disciples, right? One could easily conclude that, this is a parable of Yahusha in reference to what he is alluding to when it comes to his expectations, right, concerning his Talamim, his disciples. But you see. It's greater than that, right? He says here, for the kingdom of the Shamayim is like a man traveling into a far country. Yahusha manifesting his presence in the Eretz amongst the people, being the sole tabernacle of Yahuwah, the sole representation of Yahuwah in the earth. Right? But see, before he finishes the work, right? Before he leaves, right? Before Yahusha left, right? Before Yahusha left, Acts 1 and 2, until the day in which he was taken up, Yahushua HaMashiach. After that, he, through the Ruach HaKodesh, right, had given commandments, right, unto the apostles whom he had chosen, right? So here we see Matthew being fulfilled in the Acts of the epistles, or the Acts, right, of the apostles in the first chapter, commencing at the second verse. You got a job to do. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, you have a job to do. You who are in this witness have a job to do. You have a responsibility to do. Listen. For the kingdom of heaven is as a man, Yahushua HaMashiach, traveling into the Eretz, who called on his Talamim and delivered unto them his goods. gave them his goods. Now. What did Yahusha give to the Talamim? What did he give to those who received the witness? Right? Yahuwah said in reference to the disciples as he prayed to his Father, he says the words, the Basora, the Torah that you have given me, I have given them, and they have kept them. My gosh, this Torah of truth, this Basora, the goods, the goods that are going to be used to produce fruit. Listen, you got to be about the business. You got to be about the business. You have to be about the business. And to one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2 talents, and to another 1, and to everyone according to his several abilities. See now, you may not have, right, the same ability as I have in teaching Yahuwah's word or declaring it by crying loud in the manner in which Yahuwah has mandated that I do, right? But it does not excuse you, right, from taking the talent that you have, right, and investing it in the kingdom of Yahuwah. Because you got to understand, he said, this is how the kingdom of Yahuwah is. The kingdom of Yahuwah is about investing. The kingdom of Yahuwah is about taking the Basora and the Torah of truth and investing into the lives of men. He says, and unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1, and every man according to his several abilities. See, Yahuwah is never going to expect you to do more than he knows you're capable of doing. But if you have capabilities and you have ways of reaching people, guess what? He's going to expect you by the goods of the word, the Torah, and the Basora of truth, right, to use these things to create increase, to establish people for the kingdom. Come on, let's go back to Acts. Acts 1 and 2. Until the day in which he was taken up. After that, through the Ruach HaKodesh, he gave command. See. You have to understand that this witness comes with commands. This witness comes with commands, demands of obedience to a purpose which entails you carrying his word to the best of your capacity to reach as many people as you can for the kingdom. This is a command, right? Now listen. He had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen. Understand this, right? The entire New Testament, right, at best, excuse me, reflect the activities of an assorted 12 apostles and maybe a handful of others that came in that was made manifested throughout the books of Acts, right? Named individuals, right? Those individuals possessed, right, a larger number of talents. But it does not take away from every individual that had received the witness that there is no documentation to their having ever won anyone. But you know they have. See, we get it twisted sometimes. We think that just because, you know, we are in a position to where, you know, we have this platform that with this platform, you know, we have the capacity to reach many, and in fact we do, but it does not minimize those who don't have this platform. It does not take away from the individual that only has one talent. He said, listen. Until the day in which he was taken up, after that he, through the Ruach HaKodesh, had given commandments unto the apostles, right, whom he had chosen. What did he give them? He said, the words that I've given, you have given me, Abba. John, the 17th chapter, the first verse. These words spake Yahusha, Hamashiach, right? And lifted up his eyes to the Shamayim, right? And said, Abba, the hour is come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son may glorify thee. The hour's come. Glorify thy Son, that thy Son may glorify thee. Complete the work that is going to point to you and bring you glory in this Yeshua that you are bringing forth. He says, listen, as thou hast given him power over all flesh. See, because Yahusha received the Ruach HaKodesh at the time in which he was baptized by Yehukanan without measure. Yahusha operated in the Ruach HaKodesh and had dominion, right? Gave him power over all flesh. That's why Yahusha could know what you was thinking. That's why Yahusha could cause fish to be multiplied. That's why Yahusha could walk on water and the molecules in the water take a different shape and form and cause him to walk on it without sinking. Yahusha had the power, the dunamos, the exousia without measure. He said he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given. See, at the end of the day, when we go forth in this witness, we have no clue as to who Yahuwah has chosen to us to be given. See, we already understand that, right? That there's only a remnant is going to be saved. We already understand that those who are not born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh, we already understand that they're going to be destroyed. Right? We understand that this Babylon, this wicked, perverse generation, nations of people, they're going to be destroyed. We understand that. But see, Yahuwah still has people that this witness, that this Besorah has to be preached to. Because everything that they've received up until now, apart from the witness of Yahushua Mashiach, I mean everything that came as a result of Christianity, and again Christianity existed 100, maybe 200 years before Hamashiach's birth. So it was not Hamashiach's birth that introduced Christianity. It was a Greek concept. Oh, poor fellow. It's not Catholicism. It's not Christianity. It's not the earth pig. It's not this New Testament religion, void of the Torah. That has went throughout the world, and Hasatan has bruised the feet of Yahushua's message. Because he spread this wicked Baal worship. He's taken it and grafted it into the Besorah and the Torah of truth. Got everybody thinking that Baal is Lord. Got everybody thinking that the earth pig is who makes you born again. Listen, the text is pure. But when they changed the names, it defiled the meaning. And as long as you are serving under that name, you're walking in a defiled covenant. But see, Yahuwah already knows that. He's already gotten those who he has chosen. That's why even in this witness, right? You know, you're going to have, my Ak was talking about this Sunday, there's going to be an exodus, a mass exodus from Christianity, from the church. And they going to come to this witness. They're going to come to this witness. But you got to be in a position in this witness to be one who Yahuwah has trusted with talents to give a word, disseminate his goods in order for people to be born again. Yahushua says, as thou hast given him power over all flesh, that he should give eternal life to as many as thou hast given. And this is eternal life, that they might know thee, the only true Eluah. This is eternal life. That they may know you, the only true Eluah, and not Jesus Christ, but Yahushua HaMashiach, whom you have sent. See, you gotta understand the Hebraically names are significance. And when you remove the name of the player and put in your own, it changes the significance. See, we was under that delusion until we received the revelation of the name. He sent Yahushua Mashiach. He did not send Jesus Christ. He did not send Jesus Christmas. Jesus was not born on Christmas. Listen, Pat Robertson will tell you that. These pagans, man. They running around here talking about Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. You know, man, that's garbage. Don't vex me. Don't put no ruachs on me. I don't want it. See, some of y'all, I know y'all gonna be mad, but I don't care because they shall know the truth. See, and that's why Yahuwah's called me to cry loud and spare. Now, I guess I'm just gonna say some things that people just ain't gonna want to say. I'm gonna say things that people just don't want to hear, right? And I'm gonna say them in a way that gonna just probably make people mad, but I don't care, right? Because it's the truth. He said, I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou hast given me to do, right? And he's finished the work. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling into a far country who caused his servants to deliver unto them the goods, deliver unto him his goods while he leaves, right? Right? And unto them he gave 5 talents to one, 2, and to another 1, every man according to his several abilities, and straightway he took his journey. He took his journey. But he left something. Right? He left something. Right. Let's go to you. He says, I have glorified thee on the earth. I have finished the work which thou gave me to do. And now, O Father, glorify me in thy own self with the glory which I have known with thee before the worlds began. You bring me back to the place where I once was with you before the world was ever began. That's the journey to the far place. He says, I have manifested thy name, Yahuwah, unto men which thou hast given me out of the world. I have manifested Yah's salvation. I have manifested Yah's salvation, Yahusha. I have manifested thy name, Yah, salvation. I have manifested, I have taken the form, physical appearance, manifested your name, Yah, salvation, unto the people. He says, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou hast given me out of the world. He says, thine they were, right? And thou gavest them me, and they have kept my word. See now, Yahuwah, I was always Yahuwah from my mother's womb. Yahuwah manifested his name, Yah, salvation, Yahusha, unto me. Right? You know, I recognize, right, that there is a requirement of emunah, right, in the name. And for so long, I received that which was given unto me. Right? And I was diligent in the pursuit of this Torah and this Besorah and this Ruach HaKodesh, and he has already established me from my mother's womb. He knew me. Listen, that's why I'm here crying loud and sparing not, because he knew me. But you know what? I also received the word. Listen. He said, I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou hast given me. Thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they have kept thy word. What word? That Torah that brought Yeshua. That word that brought salvation, that word that brought deliverance, that word that changed their situation, that word that made them the inheritors of a promise. That word, that Torah. The Basora. Yahusha didn't come up with no new manuscript. Yahusha didn't come up with no new doctrine. He was the fulfillment of the Torah. Think not that I've come to destroy the law and the prophets. Think not that I have come to destroy the law and the prophets. That's not what I'm here to do. I am here to complete the work. I am here to restore the sacrifice. I am that one time, once and for only sacrifice. I'm here to set it straight because it was off. He says, and now I have glorified thy name with thine own self. Now, O Abba, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. For I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me out of the world. Thine they were, and thou gavest them to me, because they're yours. And they kept the word. They kept the word that I preached. They kept the word that I preached. You know, what did Yahusha do on the Shabbat? He went into the temple and found that where it was written and began to read. Every Shabbat, he gathered where the nation or the people were. That's for somebody. Because Yahusha wasn't kicking it in his house by himself on the Shabbat. Yahusha and the 12 weren't kicking it in the house on the Shabbat. He went to where the people were gathered, and he began to read and to teach. This was his custom. And they have kept thy word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me. And they have received and have known surely that I come out of thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. Acts 1 and 2. 9 and 3. 1 and 2. Until the day in which he was taken up. After that, he through the Ruach HaKodesh had given commandments unto the apostles whom he had chosen. He'd given them Torah. He'd given them instruction. Right? To whom also he showed himself alive after his passion by many infallible proofs, being seen of them 40 days, and speaking of the things of the kingdom of Elohim. After his resurrection, 40 days, he preached to them the kingdom, right? MATTITHYAHU. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling to a far country, who calls to his own servants and delivers unto them his goods. Yahusha gave them the word. Yahuwah gave them the Torah. See, now, this is why it's important that you understand, right? That in order to do this, right, you must be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? He's not going to put no talents in you without giving you his Ruach HaKodesh. Listen. You can't do nothing for Yahuwah without his Ruach HaKodesh. For unto one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, and to another 1. And every man according to his several abilities. And straightway he took his journey. Now listen. If you have Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, you may only receive 1 talent. Because Yahuwah knows what your ability is. Right? He knows what you're capable of handling. He knows what you're capable of doing. He knows how dedicated you are going to be to the mission. He knows whether or not you're going to really endure to the end. And then in verse verse 16, then he that received 5 talents went and traded with the same and made 5 talents. So the idea is that he took what he had and put it out there. And as a result, it multiplied. It produced fruit. Right? There were men and women that took that and received of that and produced fruit. Right? You must understand that Yahuwah will use you. Right? Now again, he's only using those who have his Ruach HaKodesh. He's only using those who are under the water and the blood. Right? He ain't using you if you ain't. It's just not. You know, you may feel like you're doing good, right? But that doing good doesn't mean nothing to Yahuwah. It does something for you. But Yahuwah rewards the good that you do as you walk in obedience to Torah. As you receive the witness. As you're born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. Right. Then that which you do for him, oh yeah, he records that. And see, with that work, with that investment, with that dispersion of the word of Yahuwah, comes results. See, I know that Yahuwah uses me. Right? There is nothing about my flesh that warrants any exaltation. Because without him and his Ruach HaKodesh, I would fail miserably. Without Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, I would fail miserably. But this witness, this ability to sow and to take of the goods and to give it to people or to make investment in only comes by the Ruach HaKodesh. Okay, listen. Okay, listen. Right. And unto the one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1, and every man according to his ability. See, you ain't gonna make everybody do what I do. Everybody shouldn't necessarily feel compelled to do what I do. I mean, you should be compelled to be a witness with that good news, that word that Yahuwah has given you to reach other people. You should be doing that. You know, whether or not you ever stand before a bunch of people and teach a word, whether you ever stand before a bunch of people and preach and cry loud and spare not, you know, I mean, all of which I've done. I did it in prisons. I did it in different churches and assemblies. But the idea is, it is a value to Yahuwah only in the Ruach HaKodesh. He said, then he that had received 5 talents went and traded the same and made other 5 talents. And likewise, that received 2, and the one that received 1, right, digged it in the earth and hid it. Now, let's understand. Let's understand this, right? Okay, so let's go, right? Let's go back. Let me see. Where is it? Where am I? Let's go back. Acts. Right. And being assembled together with them. Verse 4. Acts 1-4. And being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem. Right? But wait. Because in order for you to do this which I have placed under your care, these talents, right? The word that I've given you, that I placed under your care, right? In order to be effective, you have to receive the Ruach HaKodesh. He says, and being assembled together with them, commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait. For the promise, wait for the promise, of the Ruach, promise of the Father, which saith he, ye have heard of me. Now, when did they hear of him? They heard of him in Yucatan, 14th chapter. They heard of him in Yucatan, 15th chapter. They heard of him in Yucatan, 16th chapter. Right. He says, in fact, let's go back to the 16th chapter. Because, they've heard of it, right? 16th chapter, 5th verse. But now I go my way to him that sent me, and none of you ask me ask me whither thou goest, because I've said unto thee, because I've said these things unto thee, sorrow has filled thy heart. So now y'all feeling bad because I'm telling you I gotta go. You know, where you going? Where you going, Yahusha? Right? Nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter, or the Ruach HaKodesh, right, will not come unto you, but if I depart, I will send him. Right? So you should told him, say, listen, you need to wait to go to Jerusalem and wait. Because you're going to need the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? He says, and when he is come unto you, he will reprove the world of sin. See, because the Ruach HaKodesh is the Ruach HaKodesh of truth. See, the Ruach HaKodesh, when I yield myself to the Ruach HaKodesh and I deliver a word, that word reproves of sin. It convicts of sin. Because it's the Ruach HaKodesh that's dictating the word. He said, listen, nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is expedient for me that I go away, that if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him. Right? I will send him. And when he comes, he will reprove the world of sin and of righteousness and of judgment. Hear ye, hear ye. You must be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. Hear ye, hear ye. You must be born again. Hear ye, hear ye. You must receive this witness of Yahushua HaMashiach, or suffer judgment. Receive it and be established in righteousness. Reject it and suffer his judgment. You must be born again. Hear ye, hear ye. Listen, you better be born again of water of the Ruach HaKodesh, or you are going to suffer judgment. And going to church on Sunday, worshiping the earth pig, and bowing at the altar of Baal ain't it. I'm telling you, man, a lot of y'all gonna wake up. I just pray that you wake up and it not be too late. He says, of sin because they believe not on me. Because you don't believe what I say. And it's not what I'm saying, it's what's in the book. I'm reading strictly from the scriptures. You don't believe it, it's in the scripture. Of sin because they believe me not. Then you don't believe this witness. See, that's why I have to do this. Right? Because he's given me a word. He's given me talents. He's called me to go and produce fruit. He's called me to go and produce fruit. And he's called me in order that that fruit would remain. That men would be born again and the numbers would be added to the kingdom of Yahuwah. That's why we do this. And listen, you may not have 5 talents. You may not have 3 talents. You may only have 1 talent. But guess what? You better be busy about that 1 talent. He says, of righteousness because I go to my Father and you see me no more. Of judgment because the prince of the world is judged. Hasatan is judged. Yahushua took the keys of death and hell. He's taken the keys of death and hell. Judgment has come to Hasatan. I mean, there's an eternal judgment. But everybody, because of Yahushua's conquering of death, hell, and the grave, right? Look, if you don't receive this witness, you're judged. Of righteousness because I go to the Father. Because he goes to the Father and takes his blood and atones for our sins, now we become righteous. And because we've received this, right, we now become the place of his tabernacle, where he dwells and takes up residence. He says, I have yet many things to say unto you, but you cannot believe it. But you cannot bear it now. I got some things that I still got to tell you, but you can't bear it now, because in order to bear this, you got to have this Ruach HaKodesh. Look, see, right? You remember in Mark, right? You remember Mark, the 16th chapter, right? Right? In Mark, the 16th chapter, right? Afterwards, Mark 16 and 14, afterwards he appeared unto the 11 as they sat at meat, and upbraided them for their unbelief and the hardness of their hearts, because they believed not them which had seen him after he was risen. Right? He didn't believe him. See, now, if Yahusha knew this, because Yahusha knows all things. That's why Yahusha said, right? I have yet many things to say unto you, but you cannot bear them now. You can't receive the things that I want to say to you because of your unbelief. Because of the hardness of your hearts. Yeah, you've been washed. You've been washed in water. You've received the Besorah and the Torah of truth. But listen, you still ain't had that atoning blood that's going to cleanse your heart yet. You ain't capable of understanding it. Because that atonement has not yet happened. The Ruach HaKodesh had not yet been given. And see, and even when he says, howbeit you cannot bear them now, Yahusha, right, in Mark, when he says, because you believe him not, believe them, and they believe not them which had seen him after he was risen, Mark 16 and 14, right? And he said unto them, go ye into all the world and preach the Besorah to every creature. He was telling them that, but he wasn't telling them to go and preach before they received the Ruach HaKodesh. He was telling them that was the commandment. To go with the talents that I have given you, the word, right? The Besorah, the Torah, that word that purchased your Yeshua. Listen, man of Yah, woman of Yah, if you've been born again of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh, you got a Torah. You got a word. You got a word for somebody. You may have a word for somebody in the grocery store. You may have a word for somebody on the job. You may have a word for somebody. Listen, your talents may not require this, but you got a word for somebody because you've received a witness and you got to go. He says here, he told him to preach the Besorah to every creature. He that believeth is baptized is saved. He that receives the witness is baptized. He that receiveth the witness and is baptized. And the baptism is the baptism of water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Yahushua himself said you must be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. You have to be baptized with the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Yahushua was baptized with the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. You have to be baptized with the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. He says, he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth not is damned. He damned because he don't believe. Listen, if you don't receive the witness of the water, the blood, and the Ruach HaKodesh, you don't believe. And if you don't believe, it's okay. You're just gonna be damned. And if you run into be, if you are good with being damned, then okay. You know, I just know because I serve a living Eluah and my ancestral understanding of what it means to be damned, right? Or what it means to be under judgment, Right? Listen, you don't want to be under the judgment that this nation has been under for these 1,000 years. You don't want to be under an eternal torment. Right? You don't want to be treated like we've been treated. You do not want this judgment. You better be born again or you're going to be damned. You know, people, especially Gentiles, right? Right? Especially Gentiles, you've had your moments where you've had difficult times in life and throughout history, right? But you have never suffered a perpetual suffering as these Hebrew people have their entire life. I don't care what you say. I don't care what Japhetic bloodline you hold. I don't care. I don't care what Hamitic bloodline you hold. I don't care. You have not experienced the direct targeted suffering as this people have in every land. Listen, man, you European, right? You can pick up and go to any continent, and they gonna look at you like you the best thing that ever happened to them. Oh yeah, they gonna treat you like royalty, right? Right? You could be a poor white man and go to another country. They gonna treat you like you're a king. Listen, because right, you're not under that perpetual curse. We, on the other hand, in order to get the respect that we want, we have to go to our own country, our own continent. Now, y'all may not like that. Y'all may not agree with that, but what's that lady name? She's a European lady, short hair. She talks about racism, right? And she says, she puts forth a question: how many of you would take the place of a black man or a black woman? Raise your hand. Nobody raised their hand. She said, why? Why do you think that's that way? Because you understand the targeted racism, the targeted hostility and anger that is directed towards these people. He that believeth and is baptized shall be saved. He that believeth not shall be damned. Right? But these signs shall follow them that are established in this witness. See, listen. You got to understand the necessity of this witness. Right? Because see, you should go with some signs following. You have Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh. You can lay hands on somebody that's sick. Well, I don't know if I can pray for the sick because, I suffer sickness myself. No, wrong answer. Right? Right? You're praying for the sick may be your deliverance. Hallelujah. You don't hear me. Listen. You just may need to just get up in Emunah and start praying for people. Right? You may need to establish your own prayer warrior list. Hear the word of Yahuwah. Yahuwah has given you a talent. He's giving you his word. It's a sure word of prophecy. It's a word that brings results. The results are someone's going to receive it or someone's going to reject it. But whether they receive it or reject it has nothing to do with you. It's not that they're receiving or rejecting you. They're rejecting Yahushua HaMashiach. They're rejecting Yahuwah. They reject. Listen. Listen. I don't care. No, let me phrase this a little bit. I care that men and women receive the witness and are born again. I care because that's why I do this. I do this because you was instructing me to do it, but because I genuinely care. But the choice that you make as a result of rejecting this truth, I don't care about that. If you want to reject it, that's okay. You know, that's okay. If you want to think that you okay with worshiping Jesus and going to church on Sunday, that's okay. This ain't for you. You know, you've made your choice. You know, you made your choice. You've made your choice. It's okay. You know, I ain't mad at you. You know, I ain't gonna have a whole lot to do with you because there's no fellowship with that. What fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? Which concord has Christ with Belial? Now, why would he say fellowship with Baal? Because Baal is the worship. Baal is still the worship. The Lord is Baal. Lord L-O-D, Lord L-O-R-D, capital L-O-R-D, lowercase. It's Baal. Yahusha is the earth pig. Yahuwah, Yahuwah, forgive me in the name of Yahushua Mashiach for saying that. That was totally wrong. Right? Jesus is the earth pig. Yahusha is the son of Yahuwah. Jesus is the earth pig. Jesus is the earth pig. His sacrifice, his blood, his bread is swine's flesh. There is no atonement in Jesus. In Yahushua Mashiach there is. See, and these signs will follow them. Now listen. These signs are following them that believe. But listen, them that believe has to go back to those who Yahushua has said, right? He says, being assembled together with them, he commanded them that they should not depart from Jerusalem, but wait for the Ruach HaKodesh of the Father, which saith he, ye have heard of me. You've heard of the Ruach HaKodesh, right? We went to the 16th chapter, and we got to where it says, howbeit, the 16th chapter, 13th verse, howbeit he, the Ruach HaKodesh of truth, is come, he will guide you into all truth. The Ruach HaKodesh will. For he shall not speak of himself, but whatsoever he shall hear, he shall speak, and he shall show things unto you, show you things to come. The Ruach HaKodesh is going to speak. You ain't got to speak. He's going to speak for you. Listen, do you think this is somehow scripted? This is the Ruach HaKodesh taking me to scriptures. You better hear the word of Yahuwah, and you better obey. Yahuwah's word is going forth. You better get this witness. You better get this witness. He says, howbeit, when he, the Ruach HaKodesh, he says the Ruach of truth, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. The Ruach HaKodesh is the Ruach HaKodesh, as much as the Ruach HaKodesh is the comforter. The comforter implies what the Ruach HaKodesh does. It provides comfort. The Ruach HaKodesh of truth just describes what the Ruach HaKodesh do. It brings truth. He will guide you into all truth. He will lead you into all truth. The Ruach HaKodesh is going to lead you and guide you to all truth. Listen, you want to know what the truth is? You want the truth? You can't handle the truth. That's what. That's Tom Cruise in that movie. He says, I want the truth. I want the truth. What was his name? What was that guy? Oh man. He said, you can't handle the truth. Yeah. See, some of y'all want the truth, but you can't handle the truth until you get the Ruach HaKodesh truth. You ain't gonna be able to handle it. That's why, when you're without the Ruach HaKodesh, you go off in all this strange, crazy error. Right? That's why Christian faith has so much doctrine of men. Right? It's doctrines of men. Listen, how can you get past the doctrines of men? Yahushua said these are the doctrines of men, right? Throughout Christianity, you got the Methodist doctrine, you got the Episcopalian doctrine, you got the Lutheran doctrine, you got the Church of God doctrine, you got Church of God in Christ doctrine, you got the AME Methodist doctrine, you got the Methodist doctrine, you got the Catholic doctrine, you got the Protestant doctrine, and they all are spawned from Christianity. They're all spawned from Catholicism, right? They all got their own little doctrine of men. See, you ain't gonna understand truth without the Ruach HaKodesh truth. See, the Ruach HaKodesh truth reveals to me. See, I know what I'm worshiping. You told that woman at the well, you don't know who you worship. We know who we worship. See, you think you worshiping at Jacob's well, right? Because he's your forefather, but in reality, he's not your forefathers. And yeah, I'm greater than the well. You don't know who you worship. See, but we know who we worship. We Yahudim. Because this is our history. Right? Right? We don't worship Talmudianism. We don't worship at the doctrine of what's that miss Ashkenaz laws and doctrine governing all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, that's not us. We Torah. If it's in the Torah, we do it. If it's in the Torah that said we don't do it, we don't do it. And see, and if you want to know Torah, you better get with somebody who has Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, right? That spend time in the Word of Yahuwah. That's going to reveal Torah to you. Because if they ain't have Yahuwah's Ruach HaKodesh, they ain't gonna be able to teach correctly. Hebrew. So let's go. So it's the Ruach HaKodesh the truth. When he comes, he will guide you into our truth. For he shall speak of him, but whosoever shall speak of him, he shall not speak of himself. Excuse me, but whatsoever he shall hear, shall he speak, and he shall show you things to come. Right? The Ruach HaKodesh. Right? Let's see what it says about the Ruach HaKodesh in the 15th chapter. Right. Is it in the 15th chapter or 14th chapter? Each servant. This is keep my commandments. Yeah, no, it's the 14th chapter. I'm sorry. 14th chapter. He says, and I will pray 14 and 16. And I will pray the Father, and he shall give you another comforter, the Ruach HaKodesh, even that he may abide with you forever. Even the Ruach HaKodesh, the truth, whom the world cannot receive because it sees him not. The world can't receive the Ruach HaKodesh. Christians can't receive the Ruach HaKodesh. They can receive a Ruach. And they may refer to it as a set apart Ruach. Right? But the Ruach that in the Christian church is not the Ruach HaKodesh. Listen, you can't tell me all of these people that's doing this diabolical stuff, all these religious leaders, these pastors, these deacons, these preachers, they got the Ruach HaKodesh. No, they serve in Baal. That's why they continue to be homosexuals. That's why they continue to operate in porneia. G4202, porneia. Illicit sexual relationships. According to the Blue Letter Bible Dictionary. Strong's Concordance, 4202. It is illicit sexual intercourse, adultery, fornication, homosexuality, lesbianism, sex with animals, right? Sex with close relatives, right? All of these things. Porneia. That's why they're in the church. Because there ain't no Ruach HaKodesh there. No Ruach HaKodesh. How you gonna be a pastor and you have homosexuals dictating certain things in your church? Well, you can, because it's a Baal worship. It's a Baal worship. You know, y'all worship Helios. You worship Mary. You worship Ra. You know, you worship all these elves that have been concised and consolidated into this one universal religion. That's why the Pope is still. That's why the Pope said that we are all under one faith. No, not us. Y'all are Judaism, Catholicism, Christianity, Hindus, Orthodox Jews, Orthodox Buddhists, or Christian Orthodox. Yeah. And you know, I don't care if you like me. I really don't. I don't care if you like this video. I really don't. Because you know what? At the end of the day, right? It's truth. He says, even the Ruach HaKodesh, the truth, the world can't receive him because they see him now. They don't see him. They don't see him. Everything that they've done has been a fabrication. Man, it used to be the big thing. Healing. Yeah, everybody was walking around having these big healing meetings because they was making money. It's a cash cow. So it's a cash cow. Right? The more dramatic it was, the more cash cow it became. And that's why Benny Hinn capitalized on it. Catherine Kuhlman and what's her name? Catherine Kuhlman and Oral Roberts, right? They all jump started it, kicked it off. Yeah, they kicked it off. Billy Graham, right? Billy Graham just preached. He just preached. And Billy Graham said the people that are Hebrew or are Jewish people at that time were more, they were brown skinned people. You know, but it is that Freemasonry, man. You know, they're gonna put the brakes on you. You know, that's Freemasonry. They were all Masons. They are Masons. All these wicked leaders are Masons. They're attached. What's his name is a Mason. You know, everybody lifting him up like he said something really good. Right? Hebrews been saying it for years. Oh, you know, talking about Malcolm X. Malcolm X was saying the same thing. Right? And he a Freemason. What's that man's name? I can't even think of it now. I don't know why. You know. Freemason. Gotta wonder why he can continue to say what he say. You know, because he be kissing Ashkenaz on the lips. His message has transitioned dramatically. Yeah. Let's get on with this. He says, for even the Ruach HaKodesh, the truth is working out, because they know not, but you know him, for he dwelleth with you, and he shall be in you. Right? He said, I'll leave you not comfortless. He says, neither knoweth him, but ye know him, for he dwells with you. Because he's in you. And shall be in you on the day of Pentecost. Right? And there was a point when he breathed on them and they received the Ruach HaKodesh. during the 40 times, during the 40 days, because he had some things that he had to put in them in order to do it. Before he leave, he had to give him commandments, but he had to breathe on them so they could receive Ruach. Oh, listen. Let's go to Acts, right? Right? He said, for John truly baptized with water, right? But John truly baptized with water, right? For John truly baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Ruach HaKodesh not many days hence. You got to be born of the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. You got to be baptized of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. You got to be baptized in the water and the Ruach HaKodesh. Listen, I'm going to be baptizing my one of the young men's here in March. Right, it's going to be in South Carolina. I'm going to go up there. We're going to get a spot and we're going to baptize. Right? We're going to baptize everybody that wants to receive the witness, that wants to be born again of the water and of the Ruach HaKodesh. I will give you the times and the dates, but we're going to be baptized on that day. We'll be baptized. Right? And I'm going to make sure that you understand the word. I'm going to make sure you understand what that water means and what that is. Oh, yeah. And then before you get up out of that water, I'm going to lay hands on you so that you can receive the Ruach HaKodesh. Point blank, period. Yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. So, he says here. Acts. He says. And the semblance of, he says, and truly you cannot baptize with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Ruach HaKodesh not many days hence. No, listen. Yahuwah has given them the word. He's given them the Ruach HaKodesh. And with the Ruach HaKodesh comes the ability to do certain things. Right? With the Ruach HaKodesh comes signs. Right? The Ruach HaKodesh comes signs, he says, in Mark 16 and 16. And he that believeth and is baptized shall be saved, and he that believeth not shall be damned. Right? And these signs shall follow them that believe. In my name shall they cast out devils in the name of Yahushua. Right? They shall speak with new tongues. Listen. Devils aren't locked to time and space. You can cast out a devil from where you are. He'll recognize your authority. That's why you have to be filled with the Ruach HaKodesh. And then, some things you just got to go into by prayer and fasting. But you can go to warfare at your house. A Koti. You can go into warfare at your house. You can speak a word of healing over people at your house. You should cast out devils. You should speak with new tongues. You can speak with new tongues. Right? Right? You could take up serpents. Or, you could have got the vaccine. If you have drinking any deadly thing, it shall hurt you. Why? Because you have his Ruach HaKodesh. Right? They shall lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. Listen. This is the work. This is what it means to go about doing good. Let's go back to Matthew. He says, then he that had received the 5 talents went and traded the same and made others 5 talents. And likewise, he received 2 talents and also gained 2 others. So what's happening here is the result of being good stewards over what the traveler, Yahushua Mashiach, that went back on his journey, is looking for when he comes back. He wants to see what you have done to reach others for this witness. What have you done to reach others with this witness? What have you done to cause people to be born again? Have you taken the word which he has given you that brought your Yeshua, and are you giving it to someone else? Are you giving it to someone else? He says, but he that received one went and dug it and ate it and hid Yahuwah's gifts. Here Yahuwah done gave you something, but you done hid it. You literally went in disguise. You literally did not let your light shine. You literally put it under a bushel. You literally buried it and hid it, not making it available to someone else, right? After a long time, Yahushua HaMashiach returned, and he required an account of what he had done. What have you done? What have you done? Well, Yahuwah, you told me to cry loud and spare not. And I did it. Every time you caused me to give a word, I was available to give it. Wherever or whenever or wherever or however or wherever I had to go to baptize someone to bring them to the witness, I was willing to do it. And Yahuwah, you know who has come as a result of this witness. That's all I have to give you, is everything that I have done. Right? So that he received 5 talents, came and brought 5 talents, saying, Yahuwah, thou hast delivered unto me 5 talents. Behold, I have gained besides them 5 more talents. And his Lord said unto me, well done. See, that's all I want him to say to me. Well done, Yaakov, Yahuda Gaal. You've been faithful over preaching this witness. You've been faithful, willing to go wherever you need to go to baptize, to share a word, to give a word. You were willing. Well done, thou good and faithful servant. You've been faithful over a few things. You've handled what you've handled well. I've only required a few things of you, but you've done it, right? Behold, I have gained beside them. He says, I will make you ruler over many things. Your faithfulness will not go unrewarded. And worse, right? And he also had received 2 talents, said unto him, thou deliverest unto me 2 talents. Behold, I have gained 2 other talents beside them. He said, well done, good and faithful servant. See, because you were faithful over what I gave you. I recognize your own individual limitations. But what I gave you was what you needed to get the job done, and you took that and got the job done. He says, I will make you ruler over many things. Enter to the joy of adoniy. I'm gonna make you faithful over many, right? Then he which received 1 talent came and said, Adonai, I know that thou art a hard man, reaping where thou hast not sown, and gathering where thou hast not strawed. What he's saying is, these men did the work, you know, and you reaping the benefits of what they did, right? But you ain't gonna reap the benefits off of what I did, because I'm gonna give you your talent back. I'm gonna take this and dig a hole and hide it. I'm gonna prevent anybody from seeing it. I'm not gonna invest in the kingdom of Yahuwah Lord. And I was afraid, and went and hid thy talent in the earth. Lo, that thou hast that in thine. So which you have is yours. And Yahuwah answered and said unto him, you wicked and lazy servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not. You know that I was in this dispensation. That's why I had you to go and bring the word to these people to bring in a harvest. But you didn't do it. She's lazy. Thou oughtest therefore have put my money in an exchange. Put it somewhere where I at least got interest. Did something that would have at least paid off for you, to show some sort of effort. He said, therefore, he took the talent from him and he gave it to the man who had 10 talents. He gave it to the man who doubled his. Right? Then he says, for unto every one that haveth shall be given, and he shall have abundance. Everyone that takes this Ruach HaKodesh of truth, right, and goes and demonstrate with signs following, reaching the lost, right, with the witness of the Basora of truth, right, Yahuwah is going to give him abundance. But from him that have not shall be taken away even that which he has. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, listen. You got to be about this kingdom business. There's no big eyes and little U's. The man with the 5 talents got the same reward as the man with the 2 talents. They got the same rewards. He says, well done, good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make thee ruler over many things. Enter to my joy. Right? He says the same thing. Well done, thy good and faithful servant. Thou hast been faithful over a few things. I will make you ruler over many. Enter to my joy. Same blessings. Yahuwah knows what you're capable of. But you're going to inherit the same blessing. But if you choose to do nothing, you're going to inherit eternal judgment and damnation. And cast ye this unprofitable servant into outer darkness, where there is weeping and gnashing of teeth. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, you who have been born again of the water and Ruach HaKodesh, whom you has given the ability to go and be a witness to the kingdom of Yahuwah, you better do what he's called you to do. And listen, you ain't got to do it like everybody else. You ain't got to be a rapper. You ain't got to be a artist. You ain't got to be a teacher. You ain't got to be a moray. You ain't got to be a mora. Right? You ain't got to be none of that. You may be that sister that came out of stripperhood, and now you want to reach your fellow strippers, or your fellow used to be strippers. You ain't a stripper no more. You're a daughter of Zion. But you might have been one of them women that was promiscuous, and you know other women that are promiscuous and struggling, and you know that you got a word that can bring them deliverance. That's that word of Yeshua that Yahuwah brought to you. Come on. Right? There's a Koti, right, who has been delivered from sex trafficking, right? And she was active in a group, right? It's a Christian group, right? That was out trying to reach women who were the product of trafficking. You got these gangsters, take these girls and snatch them up from different places and communities and put them on the block, right? Or even lock them up in rooms and tie them up, and and you go in and do your business, and them you pay them, they don't leave. She could have ran from it, wanting nothing to ever do with it. She did, because she's a daughter of Zion. Man, it's a Koti. She's a daughter of Zion. You may not do what everybody else is doing, but Yahuwah has delivered you and brought Yeshua to you. You know someone whom you can bring Yeshua to. You got to be about it. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, that's all we got. The word of Yahuwah. Hear the word of Yahuwah. Yahuwah, in the name of Yeshua Mashiach, the word you've given me to give to them, I've given to them, and I pray that they would receive it in emunah, that they would act in accordance to it in obedience. I pray that those who have never heard me, those that have never received the witness, would understand the necessity by the word that you have given me to give to them. I pray that it would quicken and make them alive. Yahuwah, in the name of Yahushua Mashiach, I pray that it would make them alive. Yahuwah, I pray that you would send a word of healing. Send a word of healing right now to those that are suffering in their bodies. I speak a word of healing over them. I speak a word over those who are under a demonic oppression. Yahuwah, you said I should cast out devils. I speak to devils, those that are under the sound of my voice that are bound. I say by the authority of the name of Yahushua Mashiach to let these people go. Take your hands off them. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, the Ruach HaKodesh in me is not locked in the time and space. Oh yeah, no. You hear me now. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, turn them loose. Yahuwah, I pray that your word would come alive in them. I pray that this witness that you have given me, these talents that you have given me, that they're paying results, they're bringing in dividends, that they're producing fruit. In the name of Yahushua Mashiach, you will let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. You are my strength and my redeemer. Man of Yah, woman of Yah, called to greatness. Woman of Yahuwah, daughters of Zion, beautifully and wonderfully made. Today Yahuwah has favored you. Listen, be about it. No breaks. Be about it. Go hard. Taking advantage of every opportunity that Yahuwah reveals to you. Don't go without the Ruach HaKodesh. You better get the Ruach HaKodesh first. Don't go without being born again of the water of the Ruach HaKodesh. Right? Get the water and Ruach HaKodesh. Yahushua told the disciples to do it. You got to do it too. And on the day of Pentecost, it was all together in one accord, in one place. And the Ruach HaKodesh came in, as it were, with a mighty rushing wind. And everybody in the building received the baptism of the Ruach HaKodesh. You got to have this. Right? This is that comforter. This is that Ruach HaKodesh of truth. Right? In order to be the witnesses that Yahuwah has called you to be. And if you have the Ruach HaKodesh, right? Then listen, what's the problem? Be about it. Be about it. With that I say, man of Yah, woman of Yah, shalom, shalom, shalom. And listen, I love you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Be blessed.
Torah Guardian, speaking the absolute truth. Torah Nation.